everyone, it's Amanda. Today I'm going to be doing another recent reads video. I have about 8 books to talk to you about, and a lot of them are 5-star favorites of the year. So let's get started and talk about some really good books. First being, I must mention, There Is No Devil by Sophie Lark. Hello, ma'am. The ending of this book was so freaking good. Not only did it have a great epilogue, ending, whatever for the characters, it was also the perfect ending to this duet. I've never seen a duet like this, okay? If you haven't read The Sinner's Duet by Sophie Lark, please do. It's a serial killer romance. It follows Cole and Mara. Mara is an up-and-coming artist, and Cole is already in the artist industry. He's super big, and he has a nemesis that's also a serial killer. So he's both an artist and a serial killer, and then he stumbles upon Mara, actually quite literally stumbles upon her, and she's not in the best of shape when he does stumble upon her, but what does he do? He does not give a shit, and he walks right past her. So that forms a great connection right there, and they fall in love, you know what I'm saying? And it's great. And I don't want to give too much away. That synopsis was so trash, but basically we have a really good suspense romance, because I can't tell you what it's about. I can't, but just trust me on this one. Just trust me on this one, and you will thank me later. I'll link Lachlan's video, one of my BFFs here, that trusted me for once, and she loved it. But regardless, please read that series. It is so freaking good. And if you like thrillers or suspense, I think that you'll really enjoy this, and you might even like the romance side of it. I'm just saying. It's really spicy, has a great playlist going on, and it's a 5 out of 5 star for both books 1 and 2. Next, I did read Truth or Beard, which is the only other ebook that I read. So this one I rated 4 out of 5 stars. I also featured it in my video recently that was an indie romance reading vlog. I'll link that up above and down below. This one follows a small town romance between Jessica James and Dwayne Winston. And it's a small town romance set in Tennessee. And our main character, Jessica, she's just coming back to her hometown to kind of restart, but she does not want to settle there at all. She's more so into traveling and wanderlust, and she's just not wanting to settle down. Meanwhile, she reconnects with her best friends who happen to be twins, and she was in love with one of them growing up. But the one that she wasn't so in love with is the one that she falls in love with. So I really enjoyed this one. It was really funny, and the audiobook was glorious. It had a full cast, so that was really cool. Next, we have a 5-star, which is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. So this might be surprising because a lot of people think this is too cheesy. I was reading some of the Goodreads reviews, and I was like, excuse me? That's what it's supposed to be, though. It delivered what it was supposed to deliver, and I don't agree with these people. But anyway, this one was just so freaking cute. I don't care if it's cheesy, if it's this cute, okay? It also had panic representation, and I was crying, sobbing my eyes out at the panic representation in this, because there's a full-blown panic attack for 2 pages, and I just really loved how our main character responded to it. Not only does it have the panic representation, but it also has it as the male character, so that was really nice to see as well, because we oftentimes see it from the woman's perspective. So this one follows Bree and Nathan. They are both in love with each other, but they don't tell each other. They're best friends. They don't want to break up the friendship, so we follow them. I think it's both perspectives, if I'm remembering correctly, and it's a football player and a ballerina. She owns her own little studio for underprivileged children to pay for dance lessons and everything like that, and then he's a star football player that is pretty rich, so she's kind of living an opposite life to him, but she likes to work for everything she does, and that's really important to the story throughout the whole entire book. That's why I mention it here. And what happens is, one night she gets a little too wasted, and she ends up spilling the tea to a reporter that she's been in love with her best friend and that she thinks he loves her back. So that kind of comes out. She plays it off, but they do have to fake date because now everyone wants them together because, you know, they're a match. And for the publicity, they agree to pretend to be together. So it has the friends to lovers, but it also has the fake dating. And I don't know what worked for me so well in this, because it does have that annoying feature where they're in love with each other and they both should know. Like, you as the reader are like, what are you not seeing right now? You're clearly in love. It was just a fun fake dating moment. I don't know, like, it's short rom-com. I needed this at the time that I read it, and I think that's part of the reason I loved it so much. Next, we have The Wall all of Winnipeg and Me, which follows the same exact premise pretty much. It follows a girl who's been working as this football player's assistant, and she's fed up. She's done. She's been planning to quit for a while, and this is the moment. The last straw has been strawed, and she no longer wants to work for him, so she quit. And meanwhile, he is grumpy. He's so grumpy. He's mean, and he's almost irredeemable. I know. I actually thought that for a while. He is just so annoying and mean and rude and horrible to our girlie here, and I hated him, but he really won me over in the end. It has a fake dating slash marriage of convenience trope, and it was chef's kiss, but it is so slow burn. So if you hate slow burns, this is not gonna work. Like, I'm talking, I didn't get anything until like I was right here, and this is a fucking thick book, okay? This is huge. It's huge. It might be the biggest mariana zapata. I don't know, but this is so big, and I was like, come on. I need some juicy. I need some flavor. I need some smut. But we do get it eventually, and it was so worth it because mariana zapata always delivers on character development. And you can be sure of that. So good. So many cute moments in here. She hates him because he's treated her so bad, and she knows her own worth at this point. After she quits, he realizes he made a mistake by not appreciating her enough. And she knows that he is sorry, but it doesn't really fix the fact that he was a major asshole. So seeing them get together slowly and have that connection, that romance, was so good. And the side characters in this one were also just so good. It was just beautiful. If you like football, definitely recommend this. If you don't like football, still recommend it because I don't particularly love football. And then same with this one. This one's very light on the football. This one is a little more involved in the football. And then on that same note, I have The Deal by Elle, which I did do a whole video on. I will link it up above and down below. I did read it all in one sitting, but this one's very light on the sports. Very light. I almost didn't even know we had a hockey player. Like, there's no like game moment, which I kind of was disappointed in because I do love hockey. So if there was ever a sports romance to deliver me a game, I would have wanted it to be this one. So we were on a trend with these recent reads. We were doing a lot of fake dating sports romances, but this one's really fun. I'm sure you've heard about it. We have Garrett Graham, who really needs his GPA to be higher in order to play on the hockey team and make his team win because he's the star player. Then we have a Hannah, who is very good at school, and she hates him because he's a jock and he's rude and she doesn't like his vibe. And then she really wants to be with this other guy that's on the football team, and Garrett notices that she is crushing on this guy. So he makes a deal with her that in return for her tutoring him and helping him get past this course, he will help her win over this guy that she likes. But meanwhile, they fall in love, and it's really hot and steamy. Really good times in here. I really enjoyed it. It was so fun and quick, and if you're in a reading slump, this would be fantastic. I think I rated this 4 stars. Then we have Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. This was a tear jerker, okay? This was the saddest shit. I also read this for the vlog. I'll link up above again, but this one just broke me. It follows Bea and Samson, but mostly Bea. She had a mother that suffered from addiction, and so she grew up really poor and really had a hard life. So when her mom dies in the very beginning of the book, she doesn't really have anywhere to go, so she ends up calling her biological dad, who hasn't really been in her life, and he kind of picks up the pieces for her, and you kind of wonder, why is he such a nice guy but he's never been in her life? So you get to kind of unravel their history and why they have this relationship that's so weird but also so loving at the same time. And then she moves in with him, so with that comes her stepsister, who's really great, and then Samson, who lives next door, and they have a really good connection and story. And I don't want to give too much away, so I'll just leave it at that. But if you're wondering why it's so sad, it's because she finds family, and it's like found family but within her own, and she finds herself and her worth. But all along, there's also this beautiful love story between her and Samson that goes years, and it's beautiful. I loved it. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. And lastly, we have The Truth About Heartbreak by Celeste. This one follows River and Everett. River is a foster child who gets adopted by the Jameses family, who are very rich, and she's had a very rough childhood, very rough past. So when she's entered into this new world of privilege, she doesn't know what to do with it. She feels like she's inadequate and like she can't have this all. So her new brother, Oliver, he ends up being someone she confides in, that she trusts, along with his best friend, Everett. Everett. So there's a brother's best friend in this because they fall in love, okay? So it does follow Everett and River's love story, but it's very complicated because he's actually with somebody else. So I ended up giving this one a 3-star, mainly because it kind of had a different style of writing than I'm used to with B. Celeste. This is her first book, so it's a debut. And the time jumps kind of threw me off from chapter to chapter. You're just following them and it jumps around a few times to where you're like, okay, wait, I gotta gather my bearings here. Where are we at in life? So that's why I didn't rate it as highly, but I still love the angst and River and Everett as characters. I will read the next one soon as well, The Truth About Tomorrow, which I think I will end up loving because I love Oliver. So those are all the books that I've read recently. Hopefully you got something out of this video, maybe a recommendation. Let me know if you've read any of these or if you plan to. As always, please like and subscribe down below for more bookish content, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!